such a lovely sound, isn't it? Kia ora and welcome. My name's ZoeStibi and I'm a vocal coach with over 18 years of experience in teaching people like yourself how to sing. And if you're interested in learning how to sing with security and stability in a community full of people who are just like really amped to help you and support you in your journey, then check out the link in the description below for my Vocal Academy, because we are accepting new students and I would love to see you there. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Grace Vanderwaal with Vienna. Love her voice, never heard this song before. Let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. But you know the wind.
I did not put two and two together and realize that this was a cover of Billy Joel's Vienna. Absolutely fantastic song. Love it. Love Grace's sound. She's in a lower chest voice. We're on the G4, which is just the G above middle C, right in the middle of the chest voice register. We've got a little bit of breath coming. Slow down. And we know that Grace has a slightly grittier sound. So she's got a little bit of the constriction coming in. Now, usually that sound is created with the false vocal folds coming over the top of the true vocal folds. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next break. But there's an increase in the breath, low volume.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid?
So we've got this, and I see about the false vocal folds. So we've got the true vocal folds and the false vocal folds sit above the true vocal folds inside our throat. I'll put a picture up here. And when we close them, it's slow down and poet shout and dun 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 for a juvenile. I mean, obviously I sound completely different. This is not the way that I usually sing. So when we close those false vocal folds and increase the breath pressure underneath them, we get that kind of sound coming through. But we really have to make sure that the volume is low.
So afraid. Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day.
Did you notice as well? It disappeared. Slow down. It disappeared a little bit as we went higher in the range. And that's so typical of using those false vocal folds. As we're going higher in the range, they kind of like get taken to the side as the vocal folds thin to take us further up in the range. And we don't actually need as much effect as we really think when it comes to our singing. So like less is more.
But you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you?
So much can be done at the ends of phrases or at the ends of words. Realize. And so she's realize and bringing those false vocal folds, that constriction again, more into the sound. Vienna waits for you. And so when you're using those effects more at the end of the phrases, you can get way more out of them rather than trying to like blanket sing with so much constriction in the throat, because it's really, well, you just don't need it.
Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that that you forgot what you need. You can see when you're wrong, but you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old.
Oh, beautiful sound there. But again, we've got it's quite low volume. She hasn't really moved far away from the mic. And with an increase, slow down, we've got less constriction. Okay, so that's allowing more air to come through. And that might then boost the volume of the sound that we're hearing there a little bit, but really it's very similar volume. She's increased the energy in her body, and there are more instruments now playing. So that has automatically given us this feeling that the energy is increasing, or the volume is increasing, without her really changing her voice. Let's just listen to that again so you can really hear that.
Borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forgot what you need. You can see when you're wrong, but you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh. Will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Oh, gosh, such a lovely sound, isn't it? So we're hearing there in that second part of the song, there's a little bit of that constriction coming in and going out again. So when we're talking about a singer like Grace, we can't start talking about whether this sounds like nodules or whatever, because I'm not a doctor. And we also would have to put a camera down the nose and have a look at the vocal folds themselves to see what's really going on. It's the only way to diagnose these things. But if I was to have a singer in my studio who did have a degree of constriction or a degree of pressure on the voice, there are a series of exercises that we would go through, because we always want to be able to sing with effect and without effects. Okay, and so if we can't sing without effects, or what we call a clean vocal sound, so it would be like Vienna waits for you, there's no crackle in the sound, no pressure, the vocal folds are closing, then I would say to that singer, you know what, let's go and take a look at what's actually going on with the vocal folds, because it could be coming from somewhere completely different than the vocal folds themselves. And this sort of sound, for example, could also be coming from tension here in the upper head and neck region. It might not actually be coming from the vocal folds themselves, but that pressure might be having an onward effect to the muscles surrounding the larynx.
Truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. Kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you crazy child, and take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you?
Before she gets to the end, we just have to stop there, because did you notice that she didn't really, even in the height of the song, get into a full voice sound? She stayed in a relatively similar voice quality for the whole of the song. So really, when it comes down to these vocal decisions, or saying sing higher, sing louder, blah, 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 it's really down to the individual artist and what you really want for your voice. So if you're saying, like, I want to sing super loud and high, then we would need to find a way to work with that without the constriction, and then add the constriction in later. But maybe Grace just doesn't even want to. Maybe she just really enjoys, and she sounds beautiful. So this is her sound. This is her signature sound.
Realize Vienna waits for you. Slow down, you crazy child, and take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while.
Did you hear that though? She goes, slow down, you crazy child. And she sort of like released that constriction a little bit. We got a slightly more fuller sound, but it's still a breathy, thicker vocal fold sound with that constriction going on. So the false vocal folds are closing over top of the true vocal folds to create that slow down, you crazy child. I also think it could possibly be, and this is often like not one muscle is working at any one time, like there's always a bunch of muscles working together, probably a slight tightening at the back of the throat and probably a little bit of tongue tension going on there, because that's going to help a little bit to kind of, we want to get as much stuff in the way of the airflow as possible in order to create that sound.
It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Oh, is she not just the most amazing singer? And I just love that moment always at the end of performances where artists just take that moment. Let me know down in the comments though, what live performance of Grace I should have a look at next, because she's the most amazing singer and she's come such a long way. And she's obviously had a lot of training on her voice, because you're really noticing quite a difference in the sound when she was on, was it AGT or I think it was America's Got Talent, right? Where she had, in my opinion, an even more constricted, kind of more affected sound. And now it's slightly less. So that's telling me that she's probably had quite a lot of training. Not saying that one is better than the other or anything like that. Basically, what we want to be able to do, and I don't like to say things as healthy and unhealthy, what we're really looking to do with our singing is to say, what sort of sound do you want to be able to create? And can you create that for the length of time that you want to be able to create it for? Some singers only want to be able to create that sound for one singular recording, and then they'll sing it differently when they're doing their live performances. Other singers will sing in this particular way for an entire 2.5 hours. And that's a completely different type of vocal technique when we're talking about stamina for 2.5 hours of a performance as opposed to just one singular song. If you've enjoyed this video though, I mean, Grace is amazing. And sorry that I'm clapping like a crazy person and looking like a Lego man. I've broken my hand and my brace is currently still drying. So I'm trying to keep my hand as stable as possible just here on my stomach. So I'm looking like I'm a bit weird and clapping like this today because in a relatively large amount of pain today in my hand. So if you've enjoyed this video though, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you around here more often. About 90% of the people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed to my channel. So if you want to geek out with me about more vocal technique, hit that subscribe button. If you're interested in learning how to sing and starting your singing journey, if you want trainings, plans with weekly singing lessons that you go away, you work on the technique, and you submit your video to myself or one of the Vocal Academy teachers for feedback, you get that feedback and then you go away and practice again, then check out the link in the description below, because my Vocal Academy, which is my online singing school, is accepting new students. I'd love to see you there. Honestly, I'm really, really loving all of the amazing things that are going on in the Vocal Academy at the moment. Have an awesome rest of the day and happy singing. Everyone can learn to sing. You just have to have the tools to learn how to do it. I'll see you around next time. Ka kite anō.